Hello there, YouTube. Hello there, Internet. Welcome back to the Hunt Gamers continuing hardcore solo playthrough of X-Men Legends 2 as Toad. We are using the weaker of his two builds, the spit-focused build. It's a little bit more interesting, I think, because I have no question in my mind as to whether this is doable using his more optimal build. It's a little bit easy, to be honest. He's one of the stronger characters in the game. Anyway, let's get in there and. Yeah, we're on the last act, but we have to do one extra quest so I can get my danger disc. I don't like leaving that behind. So let's get in, let's go get that done.
Let the games begin.
And here we are. Now, I believe everything should be... also, I have just I've adjusted my game volume just a smidge, so it's a little bit... it should be a little bit louder, and hopefully, like I because I always had a pretty bad microphone, just a headset or something. If I didn't have my game on essentially like 1% volume, my voice would just get completely drowned out. So I generally have my game down very low, and I found since setting this microphone up, that's not as necessary. So I'm trying to tweak this and put it up just a smidge. Anyway, we're going to go to the perimeter platforms.
This probably won't matter much. A fleet
And we don't even necessarily need to finish this quest. I just physically want to get Toad's danger disc, which is quite early on, so we can just grab that, go do the quest, get the item, and then just continue on with Act 5 because I'm happy with the level I'm at. I don't need to go back and do this side quest aside from the danger room. That said, this area would be very nice to just power loot with plunder. There's so many boxes and breakables and things. Out of my way. Alright, so what I might try to do is rush these first 3 platforms and then just come back and get everything, break everything, use plunder, do a little bit of looting, and then we'll just continue into Act 5. Because part of the fun of this build is having plunder as my ult. I want to use it, I want to get some value out of it. So I've got this area that's just dense with breakables and enemies. Then obviously... There's the danger disc, but for now we're just going to try to thread the needle here, give these guys the slip, the old slipperoo. It's so easy when you have secretion, because if you even if you have a 1% speed increase, it means you can make space by running away, and you can maneuver around enemies and so on. Because otherwise, you move at the same speed they do. Have fun with that. They're too strong. I don't know if it's actually realistic to try to have this up for all of this, but got a lot of enemies. This area is actually, this is one of the trickier quests in the game if you're playing solo, because not so much because you are in a big threat of dying, but there's a like escort quest where you have to keep someone alive, and you know, when you don't have 4 bodies to just physically be in the way to help kite aggro, and you know, 4 sets of attacks to kill stuff before it can you know, wreck your boy, then it actually does genuinely get a little bit stressful and overwhelming to do it as one person. It's not, I mean, it's doable. It's just, yeah, it feels kind of overwhelming. And if you don't have enough damage, you know, you're gonna have a great time, because they will kill the guy and you will fail the mission. Oh, the auto-targeting is traumatizingly bad. Hoovering the loot. Pretty satisfying. You know, even though this is like a very suboptimal build for Toad, in terms of like, you know, can we kill stuff? Are we having a good time? Is it fun to play around with? I hate trying to get that.
Need more blood to do that.
Pick it up! Thank you.
This unit has targeted a
this area can also be very lucrative though, because each time you... So there's 2 areas where you have to protect your... You know, your buddy when you're doing the kind of escort quest. And after each of them, after you clear them, like a bunch of little shield guys, NPCs will come, and you're supposed to continue on while they, you know, sort of fight the bad guys and cover for you. But so many sentinels come down. And it's a huge... Alright, hold on. Oh, okay. Alright, well I guess I have to continue on. I completely forgot about that. So we are going to have to do the escort quest file. So you'll see what I'm talking about anyway. Though we won't be getting the extra EXP.
Team, meet Sergeant.
Thanks, Colonel. Yes. There's a radar array. It's... Don't let me die just yet.
But yeah, as you see, if you have good damage, especially if you have a little bit of speed or something, you know, just the ability to hoof it around, keeping this guy alive is not that stressful for one person. But for the slower builds, or builds that can struggle with energy economy and stuff like that, it can be an issue. And having anything that's like area denial is really nice against them, because they do come down in very predictable locations. Scanners have located mutant DNA. Mutant. Yeah, so this is where they'll just start swarming down. And
Surrender, mutant. Ceased mutant activity. Scanners have located. Surrender, mutant.
you see what I mean? A lot of sentinels come down. And yeah, this is really absurdly, like, taking a really silly risk. The problem is this guy, sometimes he takes more damage just leaving.
There's a radar array. It's going to take a little while to set the charge, so keep me alive long enough to do it.
Scanners have located mutant DNA. This unit has targeted a mutant life form. Surrender, mutant. Surrender, mutant. Warning, defensive systems activated. Mutant target has been sighted. Warning, defensive systems activated. Warning, defensive systems have activated mutant DNA. This unit has targeted a mutant.
These guys get absolutely wrecked by the floor goop. Is it because they're standing on multiple? Like, is it something like that? Because they're taking like 140 damage per tick, which is insane.
This unit has ceased to function. Defensive systems activated. Mutant target has been sighted.
Well, this
Scanners have located mutant DNA. Targeted a mutant life form.
This is the last one, team. Wins again.
Pardon me. Now I actually think I could just blink portal back, but it's like I'm so close here, I might as well.
Scanners have located mutant DNA.
Did I need to activate that? Are we bugged or something? Oh, that's right. I just break it.
Too long.
Oh, Lord. Well, that was a decent time to kill. Peace with that. And yeah, I can go do the Toad danger room mission. Forget the computer is right here. I've been playing this game for over 2 decades. Senior? Just a minute. Just a minute. Alright, there we go. Defeat Madre High Priest.
The course is now active. Goodbye. Generating opponent. All objectives have been successful.
They give him such a joke of a thing.
Well done.
Yeah, well, typically because I don't necessarily want to do side quests unless I am really struggling and need the EXP or the gear or anything. I don't like to necessarily avoid the perimeter platforms or the Prison of Misery because they have bosses in them. But I sometimes avoid perimeter platforms mainly because of the escort part of it. It's very like you can just lose your run there if you're solo. If Kilroy gets killed.
What do you want?
So unless I have a reason to do it, I won't necessarily do it. And I forgot that this is where you actually get Toad's danger room thing. And yeah, so this is not a particularly great item, but the movement rate does make a big difference, as you guys have seen. Speed massively increases the damage rate of your DOTs. Like way more. If it says 10%, it's probably more like 50% on the DOTs. In which case, you know, it's getting to the point where on the DOT at least, it's potentially worth more than the damage you would get from an item. Anyway, let's get in here and clear out Act 5. As I said, this act is not the... not the longest. Oh, pardon me. Cough. Getting plunder would be nice, just for the extra time. And then I'm thinking we just slowly work on Critical Strike. I have no idea if Critical Strike even... Okay, it's only for melee attacks. I should just get a redistribute, take these 2 points out and chuck them into Mutant Master. Well, why not? I mean, we're right here, and I'm not worried about what it costs.
What do you want?
Because that's one of the benefits of this run is having access to all of this looting. So, 1 point in you, we want you maxed. You just for the utility. You maxed. You maxed. And then you maxed. I mean, EP has been fine, but you know, what else could I even get? It has to be a spit skill. I mean, I guess I could start putting points into this. Yeah, I guess I'll just chuck the odd point into this. Because you get pretty decent gains without a particularly big change in the EP cost. Especially as I have really been pumping focus, we have pretty decent EP regen. And now it's doing like a nice chunk of damage up front. These guys are critical guys. Don't die before the thing's on, please. You will see why I call them that. They love to yell it, but because I've said they love to yell it, now they will not. It will never happen again. The sound file might as well have just been deleted from the game. Wait, what was hitting me there? That was strange. I tried some Marvel Rivals placements last night, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I never really played much comp, but I had two like really ego bruising losses in a row. Like the first, barely got out of spawn, and I thought like I genuinely didn't know what more I could do. Obviously, I'm not saying it wasn't winnable, but at least within my understanding of the game.
Who knows, Sinister?
Well then, this should be interesting. I didn't mean to scare you off. The nullifier has cancelled my mutant power. It's only temporary. Don't you realize my mutant abilities make me invulnerable?
Oh, the freaking CC that like scares you away, and for some reason it makes Toad jump around. It's super frustrating.
Powers, but it's stolen yours.
Almost killed Beast
Yes. Aside, he had me. He's for yes.
for free. Oh. I mean, that went pretty smoothly. Normally I worry a little bit about the Sinister fight if I don't have some invincibility or something. Now look at that. That EP regen is nice. Even as is. And if I continue this build through to hard, there's no reason why Mutant Mastery won't eventually get maxed.
Give me someone else to hit.
Yeah, I say there's no good music in this game outside of the Madrai Temple, but the music for the Act 5 is pretty good. It's just like, it's Egypt, isn't it? It's very You know, it's exactly what you'd expect. Not in a bad way.
Now you know, don't mess with Toad. I did it! I won!
But yeah, I was just saying, so we had these two losses where there were two people on our team who were, you know, in both cases, like super questionable in terms of like what they were doing. Like, and I don't mean that in the sense of like, you know, oh, they weren't hitting enough shots or whatever, but I mean it was like, you know, fundamentally weird. You know, like playing Mantis or something and like not even fire a shot for like the first 30 seconds of a team fight. Just kind of distribute a bunch of leaves and move around and look around and, you know, and then like, oh, now there's like a venom jumped on me. I shoot the venom, like not even aim for the head, but just sort of spray the body, you know, like really weird and questionable stuff like that. And, you know, that's fine. You're going to have new players like that, but it's just like, you lose matches like that where it genuinely, to me, it genuinely feels like I do everything I can. And it's like, in both of those losses, I feel like to the extent that we had any kind of like push or point presence, it was like a lot of it was off my back. In the second one, there was another person who was really kind of helping out, and we had like, it's not that we had all bad teammates or anything, but it's like, you know, when it's essentially like a 5v6, it's so much harder to do anything. And you legitimately have seconds to do it. Like, you have seconds to like try to, you know, pressure out a support or something, and like you better hit all your shots. But yeah, anyway, so it's like you, so I have these matches where it's like, okay, it feels like it's, you know, like in a game like that, I would always say like there's going to be a percentage of matches that you just lose. Doesn't matter what you do, you just lose. And then there's a percentage of matches that no matter what you do, you just win. Like you could literally just stay and spawn and your team just wins. But somewhere in between those two is a percentage of matches that like you win or lose based on how good you are and how well you play. And obviously like the better the player you are, the bigger that percentage is. And the rarer the kind of quarter-pointed losses become, because you, like really good players, you know, become really good at kind of allowing their team to get shit done, because you make opportunities and so on for people, or you put the enemy team under so much pressure that, you know, they're just not really shutting anything down properly anymore. But whatever, you know, it's like, and it's always in my head, I'm trying to think like, was that game winnable, you know, for me? Was that just like a quarter-order loss? You know, was this game where I thought I did really well? Maybe like I thought, I don't know. it feels like I've had 4 games so far, 2 wins, 2 losses, and I don't know that I really had that much impact on either of them. Like, I had impact... I don't know. Like, there was one game where I played really well and I got MVP, which I don't think matters that much, but I also felt that I just played really well. But it was a full hold. So it's like, you know, did I carry? Did the team win because I was there? Or could I have just genuinely, like, potatoed? Because this is a team that, like, when I'm sitting up, we literally full hold them first point. Well, presumably we could stop them by third if I was being, like, really lazy and barely doing anything. But, like, not feeding and stuff, you know? Like, if I just kind of, like, I don't know, played Magneto and shot at their tank. But just didn't die, you know? Yeah, like, I really feel like then that game would still have been winnable. It just, we would have probably stopped them around third point or something. But then it's like, oh, well, you know, maybe then they just roll us on attack. I don't know. But it's so hard to evaluate your performance in games like that. You know, normally I would say, like, okay, what's, like, the only thing that matters is, like, am I doing my job? Am I living? Am I doing my job? Am I building my ult? Am I using my ult? But then it's like, you will get these games that are so... they're so curb stompy against you that it's like, you can't build an ult. It takes a whole round of King of the Hill to build one ult. Because you just, like... you know... like, if the enemy team stack on point in KOF on, like, Rivals, I think you genuinely only get, like, 2 and a bit team fights. Maybe 3 if you have, like, a strange portal or something. But at least that's how it seems to me. If they stack 6 on point... I don't know. I really don't like King of the Hill in Rivals. I don't think it's particularly well balanced. I think you get... It incentivizes, you know, kind of passive... you know, let's just stack all our shit on point. Let's just get to point first and stack all our shit on point. Oh look, there's a penny nest, there's 2... you know, there's 3 Loki clones, there's 2 Namor squids, there's a Punisher turret, there's brute walls, like, you know. When you have teams that play like that and just 6 of them just sit on point, and they have support ults and blah blah blah, like, it's so disgusting. Anyway. I'm not the biggest fan of King of the Hill in Overwatch either. I feel like King of the Hill, at least in Overwatch, I feel like King of the Hill is more of a kind of DPS favoring game mode because there's a lot of rotation around point, particularly for DPS, where it's like a lot of the time only your tanks are playing on point, and then you're and this is like why it's such a better game mode in Overwatch compared to Rivals, because in Overwatch, like, you only necessarily need tanks to play on point, and everyone else can, like, play the whole map and rotate around the map. But in Rivals, the value of just stacking 6 on point is so disgustingly huge that if one team is, like, playing around the map and the other team just sits on point, the other team can, like, legitimately play worse and lose fights and just win, just because of the sheer amount of point progress they get by just having 6 bodies sit on point. So I don't, like, it really does not encourage you to play the map at all. Like, 90% of the map on a King of the Hill map is basically irrelevant unless you're playing, you know, Spider-Man or Black Panther or something and rolling out into the enemy spawn. Like, if you're tank, if you're support, you know, unless you're playing quick play where it's like or you're playing against boss or something, and you're like legitimately just like sending it to enemy spawn after winning every single fight, and just having fun spawn camping them rather than like genuinely playing to win. Because like if you actually do leave point and like spawn camp someone in a King of the Hill map, like it genuinely takes you like minutes to win. Like they have time to basically just sit AFK and spawn, build 6 ults, and then just like roll you and walk to point. Like it's genuinely that messed up how little progress you get if there's no one on point compared to how much you get if everyone is on point. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I think it's a really, really janky, bad mechanic. That, as I say, it's just like it wastes the map. It's just like, well, what is like 75% of the space on this map is irrelevant, aside from for the purposes of like, you know, memorizing points for DPS rollouts or like, you know, I don't know, penny mine placements or something. Why am I unable to jump? But yeah, anyway, I really hate King of the Hill, but you know, it is what it is. You have the same advantages, and like I can play freaking Penny Parker as well as the next bozo, at least I think. I don't know if I have that much confidence on Groot, but I don't think there's anything wrong with playing, you know, whatever, Magneto or something on a King of the Hill map. As I say, it's just, I think King of the Hills in this game are a big part of why you have this stomp or be stomped. And I spectate a lot of games that I don't necessarily like. I spend more time spectating than playing in many cases, because it's like I kind of work from home and I'll have the game open. You know, I can't play, but it's there, and I'll like watch it instead of a YouTube video or something. And I spectate a lot of players. There are people from like Gold to Celestial. I think Celestial is the highest. And you know, like I don't think any of them are like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it's just fundamentals, like, and the fundamentals are just better. You know, like they're tracking ults better. They're using their ult better. Like the positioning is just better. And it's just all these like little incremental. I think I might actually need to come back there, which is really annoying. Oh well, it is what it is. But anyway, it's all these little like incremental enhancements to the way they get value. Like if you would live for 10 seconds in this situation, they will live for 14, and those 4 extra seconds make 100% make a difference. Like over the course of a match, that's you know, it's 40% more uptime. It's a huge difference. And when it's consistently like that, where it's like, oh, okay, this person just lives seconds longer than me. They just fundamentally hitting more shots while they're doing it, or you know, if the character isn't aim based, then it's like they're just getting more value from their cooldowns or whatever. But it does make a big difference. But yeah, anyways, as I say, I spectate a lot of games, and the convoy games, it's like, they're so good in Rivals. Like, it's like, so many of them go 3 rounds, 4 rounds, like, and you genuinely get draws, not even as like a, you know, the occasional fluke of nature. But then it's just like, if you want to see bad, like one-sided games, just go watch King of the Hill. Go watch someone play on a King of the Hill map.
It's all in excellent condition.
How are we doing here? And we'll hold on to this. Actually, if I have stats, no, I was going to say stats would be nice, but is this the area I just came from? Yes. Okay. Oh, that's right. I need someone with my... Alas, the blink portal is down. Ugh. That was so goopy to not come and get this. And those guys are jerks.
Don't mess with Toad.
Now I've got to grab someone with might. Can shift that block.
Colossus.
Go open the other seal. And then be done. But yeah, anyway, so I was thinking about maybe streaming some more of those placements tonight.
Yes.
Sure thing, Mike.
I cannot be beaten.
Sure thing, Mike.
It's a little bit slow, but I'll take him back. I'll get rid of him rather than...
And Toad wins again.
Let me up, please. See, you can kind of get on the lip of it. It's very awkward. hate that I have to come all the way back around. Oh, there you go. Well, thus ends the Toad playthrough. And that can just happen. I don't think it would have happened if we had the tongue whip extreme, but yeah, I should have just really doused the floor there. And I didn't. Oh well. What an unfortunate end, but man, we got right to the end, didn't we? Anyway, I suppose that's a symbol, a sign from fate to pack it in for now. I am feeling really, unfortunately, ill. I've been muting my mic a lot to cough, so maybe I should just jump off. But yeah, unfortunate ending, but right, we made it all the way to Act 5, and I know it's a build that can just die in situations like that. I should have been a little bit safer and protected myself more with the mucus, but it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for anyone who did watch, and yeah, my first... Well, not my first, yeah, I died a couple times on Colossus in my first run, but we just restarted. Act 1, Quest 1. Both times, I think. I think it was twice. I don't know that I'm going to do that for this guy. But anyway. Yeah. I'll probably do another character or something maybe tomorrow if I feel up to it. But for now, I'm going to end this here. A bit of a sad ending, but it's okay. We got all the way to Act 5. I'm pretty happy with that. We actually got through most of the areas in the game that I thought we were going to struggle with, like the core and stuff like that, and most of the boss fights. I wasn't worried about the end boss fights at all, Living Monolith and so on. I was genuinely looking forward to seeing how quickly he would melt. And maybe I will continue it at some point just to see that. But yeah, for now, packing it in, and yeah, that's alas the end of this particular Toad. So take